Good morning, fellow Jeepers. Okay, so I think it's time for a big update on what's the situation been on the Jeep, because I've been kind of busy lately, very busy actually, and I was gonna start uploading weekly because usually I'm off work every Monday, but last week actually they scheduled me to be off on Saturday, and then the week before that I went to upload a video, but we actually got busy because I was off work, my sister was off work, my brother doesn't have a job, and Mom was like, hey, we should all just finally paint your bedrooms, because when we actually bought the house, we planned on painting everyone's bedroom whatever they wanted it to be, but then we got so busy with all the stuff that we weren't able to do it, and then we just kind of settled with what we had. And I happen to have a salmon pink bedroom, which wasn't the prettiest color, so we went back and we looked at some paint, and then what planned to be a one-day project ended up to being a whole week project. And I actually just completely took off the final tape just a couple days ago, so it's official. My room is painted a color I want, or lack thereof. It's white. Yeah, I painted my bedroom white, but it looks good. So as for the Jeep, a lot's happened actually, and a lot more is going to happen as I am dumping all my money into this thing to hopefully make some success on it. If you remember a couple videos ago, oh wait, yeah, just 2 videos ago, I was talking about needing a new transmission, which I think is imminent, but I'm trying to hold off as long as possible because I don't have the AX15 standard transmission. I have the 3-speed automatic, which is becoming a harder transmission to find opposed to the standard one. So right now, finding that's been a little difficult, and I haven't found a place that I can afford it yet, or just even finding one that I'm willing to buy in the first place. But this mosquito better get away from me, or whatever that is, that wasp. I don't want to know what it is, so it better get away from me. Anyway, so I have actually made a lot of progress on the Jeep, and I'm getting around to making even more progress that I'm just about to show you. So, let's see if we can get a little tour here. Okay, so first of all, I got the doors finally after like, I think 3 months it took the guy to finally get my doors ready, and he finally got them all painted, and they look pretty good at first, but I noticed afterward that this door handle, specifically the driver's side, when I'd pull on it, he didn't tighten the brackets down tight enough, so it would just pry. So I actually, for the last month almost, I've been pressing with this hand and opening with the other one, like press here, and then with the other hand I would grab it, and that's just so I could open the door, and it was kind of stressing me out. So I was a little scared to take the door apart, but I figured, hey, I've come a long way from my very scared of opening doors kind of situation, so I just took it apart and it looks pretty good now. I still need window pieces because the ones I ordered apparently are like 16 tooth and these are 13 or whatever. I forgot, honestly. I didn't know that the different year YJs had different window things. I thought they were all the same, so I'm still looking for a new window crank. But I got new straps, new panels. He got it painted. He welded the crack in the doors, which is great. The thing I was really stressing about was getting this in with this. Me and my dad were both really scared of getting that in, and then the weather stripping, for some reason we couldn't figure that out, so that was the main reason I paid the guy, was so he could get all that done. So despite the fact that I had to go back over it myself, it worked. My problem still is a problem I've been fighting for a long time, is this gap right here. If you can see, it's really not doing its actual purpose, so I'm still trying to figure that out. I think it mostly has to do with right here. When the Jeep was in an accident, there was little things that we didn't realize we were going to be fighting as much in the future, such as these dents here. There's another one that I think is actually worse on the opposite side. And then this right here, I think it twisted. It could be from this, but I'm hoping it's actually this right here is actually twisted slightly, because I just ordered new door hinge things, whatever they're called. And then there's actually these little sockets in here that just help secure the hinges, so I actually bought some new one of those, or whatever, pair of those, whatever they are, little plastic nubs. Stupid things are $40, but hopefully that'll help keep the door more secure, and I will be able to align this properly. That is the plan right now. And then, of course, sorry, it rained today and I got leaves all over the Jeep, but I started painting finally. I'm actually just doing rattle can spray paints from military Jeep parts online, and I bought the spray cans and it's looking pretty good actually. I need to go over some rough spots and do a little bit of a lighter sand, go back over it again, but from the distance you can see it's holding up pretty good. I still need to go over most of the Jeep. I just got mostly the hood and then this. It looks great from the front until you notice the windshield and the Jeep actually don't match, if you can see that right there. But it's coming along. I actually bondoed. If you remember, there was a, I don't know if I ever showed that there's a dent on this fender, and I bondoed that dent, and so it looks pretty smooth right now. But I've never actually done body repair before with Bondo, so I wasn't exactly a professional. On camera, it looks great actually, but I didn't paint over it because there's a little imperfections in it, and I think they just need sanded, but they might need some Bondo over it after I'm done, so still need to get that. My plan is, I plan on doing this today, but it might have to happen in the near future. I'm going to Bondo these dents here. On the opposite side, this is the worst dent right here. This one we've been playing with for a while because I think it actually was preventing this door from aligning properly. And then this one, it has the same problem with the door hinge. Well, first of all, we got this actually to close, but it's still a little tight, as you can see. Although it leaks, it actually, if you slam it hard enough, it will go in, and it does not leak to my knowledge. Unlike the other one, it's sealed. So this one, I've pretty much thrown up the white flag on it and called it good. But then the hinge, here you can see on this side, if I just pry it, it actually is coming loose. So, and this was actually the better one. This one I can still open it with one hand. The other one was so bad I had to press my hand against it just to open it. But same story on this side, nothing new here. And let's see, what else have I done since? It's been a while. I don't know if I ever showed you guys I got these. You've probably seen it when me and my aunt went to the coffee shop though. And as for that, I've been working on things. Oh yes, so I'm just gonna go through, make sure. I don't believe I told anyone I put new speakers in, and I actually put a new radio in. That was a pretty penny for the radio. Not necessarily because it was a nice radio, but just because I wasn't planning on buying a radio. But that's nice to have. It's Bluetooth, so I can just hook up my phone to it, and I'm still planning on getting the wiring in the back. I have to pull it back out, but I'm going to run the wire through somewhere, probably right here or whatever, and then I can actually have a little speaker and I can make Bluetooth phone calls, which I think would be pretty neat, since now that I have doors I can actually hear people on the phone. The speakers, actually, I bought them at O'Reilly. I didn't feel like spending high dollar, but I might actually have to spend high dollars because these are really not working out for me. Either that, or we might have to rewire it because the whole speaker system is just kind of, sounds terrible, to say the least. Like, yeah, it's bad. I still have my best top seat in here. I still plan on getting another best top seat as soon as I can. It just hasn't been in the budget lately, but I'm working around to that. And of course, you can see that crack, the light shining through. A little irritating. It just rained today and I got some water in my floorboards. But, alright, so moving on to underneath the Jeep and what has been done. You can see this. I just sprayed some Seal Tight, whatever that is, that spray on rubber stuff. Got some in my face, didn't feel great, but that is leaking a lot. And wow, I did not realize it was leaking that much. Okay. So this is why I might need a new transmission soon. This is concerning. Right there. If you don't know what that is, it's because it shouldn't be a thing, but nay, it is. So if you remember in an episode when my first time I went off-road with my friend, when we tried to get up this hill, we got stuck, which was a little embarrassing and also a little disappointing since I bought the off-road vehicle of off-road vehicles and I couldn't even get over a dirt hill. I summed it up as my naivety of just not being good at off-roading, but I found out later when we drove to Oklahoma for camp, we were just messing around, and even though the Jeep did fine off-road, my dad pointed out that although it feels like it's shifting into gears, it doesn't feel like anything's happening in the front. And that he actually got stuck in a spot where one of the rear tires was moving and the front wheels weren't spinning at all. So I went back, did some research, and found out about this whole vacuum system thing. I'm not really going to explain it too much, but basically what happened was the differential is not locked into place, and there's a little fork here that with a vacuum that locks it into place. And long story short, my axle wasn't locking into place, so I didn't have any four-wheel drive. And I was a little scared it had to do with my slip yoke eliminator situation when I rebuilt the transfer case, but luckily it was just this fork thing. I stuck a bolt through it and locked the axle into place, and so now I have permanent front wheel drive capability. So yeah, now I actually can go into four-wheel drive, and I shouldn't ever get stuck again, theoretically. That's what I'm hoping for. And I know I have done so much that I haven't put into a video. For example, new motor mounts, which you cannot see because I'm underneath the Jeep and it's black. New motor mounts, I put in a new starter, lots of things I didn't advertise that I've done to the Jeep, and just little things that are coming along, but we have so much more to do and so much we have done. But hopefully this whole project will come along sooner than later and we can go and do something, yeah, so this will be fun.